floor, we be them champions. I got a draw, ball in the box, we be them champions. I'm repping the squad, badge on the top, we be the champions. Getting them
Joe, don't move. I think that's about right. Stay there.
Oh, I think what?
Yo, my peoples. It's your boy Trunkie here bringing you another episode. Chat with Champions, official Champions Challenge pod show. Hope you had a good new year, guys. Obviously, we're back a little bit late, but you know it is. Just had to make sure everything was in place, make sure everything was right. Obviously, we're here through the lockdown and stuff, following the guidelines and all that stuff. But it's important for us to be here, help people get through their lockdowns, get through their day, get through any issues that they're going through. Make sure you check out the previous episode that we did, episode 3. Just before the Christmas, the edition had Nathan Mavilla on here, so shout out to you, my G. Thank you for coming down, showing love. Got another amazing guest, not with us today, unfortunately, but we're going to do it through the Zoom calls because we have to adapt the things. We're not going to stop. We can't stop. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Kevin Lema, an agent, big boy agent. My boy, I've known him for a while as well. Used to play football with him back in the day. He's going to be coming on the show. We're going to be just talking about how we got into it. We'll be giving a little insight into how other people can get into it. So for those of you that are thinking about it or maybe not even thinking about it, hopefully this episode can give you some insight into what it's about. Obviously, it's January, transfer window. So it's only right that we talk about transfers and talk about the trials and tribulations of football players that don't get a move or do get a move, all that kind of stuff. So it's going to be jam-packed with bits and bobs, and I'm sure you guys will definitely enjoy it. But yes, my G. Don't forget, share, like, subscribe, comment, all that sort of stuff. Again, all the socials will pop up. My G Corbs on that. You already know what it is. But yeah, guys, stay tuned, stay locked. It's gonna be litty, real litty. Okay, guys, welcome back. As I said before, we got a special guest on the show, big dog, someone I go way back with a long time, played football with him as well. He's actually an agent now. Can I get a drum roll, please? My G, Kevin Lema. Yes.
Appreciate it.
How you doing, bro? You all good?
All good, man. All good. Thanks for having me, man.
Nah, of course. Thank you, bro. Thank you so much. And obviously, after all the lockdown thing is done and Boris sorts it all out, I'm going to get you down here for numerous amount of episodes, bro.
Look forward to it.
Definitely, bro. But how have you been keeping anyway? Obviously, I know you're an agent now. Just a quick one for the camera. For the people that are listening, I used to play football with Kevin Lema. I think under 18s, Northwood.
Under 18s, Northwood, yeah.
Mad, bro, mad. And
worry. Me and you were like, how can we call it?
I was gonna say Dwight and Cole.
Like, the front three. I'll call you little Sane. That's what I can say. That's the best.
Hey, I'll take that, bro. Man said Sane, but I don't know about now, fam.
Sane, left foot Sane.
Bro, it's crazy. Like them times there when we was playing and stuff, and obviously the dream was kind of to make it in football, bruv. And it's really nice to see that. I always kind of look at people down the line thinking, right, I played with him. I wonder what he's doing now and that. And obviously, when me and you touch base again, and I've seen you an agent, fam, it's amazing. Like, how did you get into the whole agency thing? So,
my sort of background, as you know, is playing football. And from a young age, it's crazy because I always tell people this story. So there used to be a guy where I used to live in South Harrow. There used to be a guy that used to live behind me.
Okay.
And he always told me, I remember one time, I never used to like him. I always found him so rude as a man. But then one time I was walking, I can't remember who I was on trial for at the time. And obviously, as you can imagine, in your little estate, everybody's talking about who's going where and stuff. And I remember he gave me advice. He said to me, look, football's not a long-term career, it's a short-term career. And off the back of that, I literally said to myself, you know what? I want to be a footballer. That was always my number one. But then I always wanted to do something within sports, within football. So it was coaching, and then later on it became agency stuff. So I've been coaching for 10 years now. And then in the last 3 years, from developing players, putting players into professional clubs and stuff, and just building a reputation and networking. I bumped into a guy that apparently he knew me, but I didn't even know him, and he was a director of an agency.
Okay.
And off the back of that, he said, "Look, come on board, bring the players that you've got, and then we'll get ourselves working from then." And for the last 3.5 years, I've been representing players.
Bro, I mean, like I said, when you told me about it and I saw it, I was like, yeah, that's banging, because making it in the football is very difficult. So to hear that, fam, is actually banging still. Like, just, it's a good example, I think, for other people as well. And that's, again, this whole show, fam. We're trying to show people that it's not just, if you don't make it as a football player or whatever, it don't even mean you're not necessarily good enough, but there's other things within the industry that you can do. I mean, so in terms of your agency now, like, what is it still going on? Obviously, the whole COVID thing, even with football, I know it's still happening in certain places and stuff. Has it affected your work, or are you still active? Are you still busy with it?
No, it hasn't really. It hasn't really affected our work. I think it gives us more of a chance to really sit down with our players, because again, we're going through something that we've never experienced in life, and these youngsters have never experienced it in life as well. So
for real,
they're all about playing football day in, day out. And for that to stop for a certain period, I said this for us now as an agency gives us a chance to really set out our targets with them, really see what they want to do in terms of what clubs they want to go to, discuss contracts with their clubs and stuff, because pretty much everybody's at home. So it's actually been a better time for us when it comes to speaking to our clients. A really, really good time, because everybody's got time to do whatever they want.
And that's what's mad, you know, because listen, obviously, no one can say this is a good period right now. It's a really horrible period for a lot of people, but at the same time, there's a few industries out there that are, I wouldn't say benefiting, but they're finding positive ways and ways to adapt in the climate. So and that's what I was going to even get onto. Obviously, just the pros and cons of being an agent, like. Especially in this day and age now, with the way players are. I mean, do you have any, maybe no names, obviously don't need to talk up no names, but do you have any players on your books a couple of divas? You got any divas on your books? Like, what's it like as an agent negotiating contracts and stuff, especially at a level with youth players? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think so. For me, in terms of negotiating contracts, I haven't got to that stage just yet. So mine's pretty easy. So I look at the scholars. So the scholars' sort of contracts are pretty straightforward. Do you see what I mean? So it's just making sure that there's no, like, it allows players to leave at whatever stage they want, the compensation, all these little things. So, like, in terms of dealing with the big clubs, I will be dealing with that at some point. Hopefully the next year or so with one or two players that I have. But I haven't gotten as far as doing that just yet. But saying that, I've had one player go pro, and even his negotiation with contracts and stuff was pretty straightforward.
Bang. Can we get a round of applause for that, please? Yeah. I love that, bro. I love that.
I'll talk about pros and cons of being an agent. The pros, obviously, for me personally, like I said, I've coached most of the players that are part of my agency. I'm the one I can hands down. Yeah, so like I said, the cons are, so it's pretty much the only cons I've sort of experienced, and what happens sort of more often in the agency world. Obviously, your competition, like other agencies will offer probably a better package to a player. God knows what. Some could be illegal stuff. You just never know. But the one that I experienced the most is obviously it all comes back down to competition. So there's a boy that I helped that came to me as an under 15, late under 15. But I can't sign into my agency because remember, as an agent, you can't sign any player until their 16th birthday or the year of their 16th birthday.
I see. Okay.
So yeah, that's pretty much the FA rules. You can't sign the player until their 16th birthday. So obviously that wasn't my intention, but my first intention was obviously to get him into a pro club, and that was it. Pretty straightforward. So we're working. I said to him, look, you've got all the ability, you've got all the ingredients to get into a pro club. So we started building, took him on trial to various clubs. And then obviously there was one that said, you know what, we're going to sign him straight away. So this kid's birthday is in January. I think it's late January. So December times, we've kind of had our meetings and stuff like that, just to go through stuff and say, look, these are the stuff that we're looking to do with you and help you out. Mum was obviously present and stuff. And then a week, so let's say the new year, he goes, and then, the new year, I see on his Instagram bio, he's tagged another agency. I'm thinking to myself, wait, hold on. He hasn't gone and done what I think he's just done. So obviously I've questioned him, what is this about? And then he's obviously told me that another agency has come on board and they've tapped him up and he's now with them, signed on the contract so quickly. So those are the sort of things that you deal with as an agency as well.
Yeah, bruv.
Again, if you're a new agent trying to build yourself out, there's so many managers and clubs, chief executives, sporting directors that would not respond to your message. Even if you have the best player, they would not respond to your message simply because they don't know who you are and who you're working with.
That's and that's the thing which is crazy, bro. Because I mean, do you think, you think about these super agents, for example, Mini Raiola or whatever. I feel like agents have a bad name in the football game kind of thing. Obviously speaking of, like, talking to you now here, would you say it's a thing where you guys probably get more headache from the clubs and that? Because, like I said, when you watch Sky Sports and stuff, it's always kind of the agents that are causing problems here and there and that. But of course that happens, but speaking to you, you get a lot of headache from clubs and from managers, or no response in that respect?
Yeah. I think agents have a bad name, and the only reason why they have a bad name is because they're just moving their client to another club. That's the only reason why. And plus, remember, an agent's going to ask you what he feels like he deserves. It's pretty straightforward. If I'm leaving a player, if I'm taking my client out to another club, I'm expected to be paid whatever it is. Because sometimes, remember, the process of transfers and stuff, like if a player's moving like now in January, which is the shortest transfer period, like sometimes these deals have been done 3-4 months ago. But it's just that process of making sure that it's all tied up. Because come January, a club can just turn around and say to you, no, we don't even want to sign him anymore. Do you see what I mean?
Yes. But
the agent's got to make sure that everything's intact right up until that moment he signs on the line, then it's all good. But again, like I said, the only reason why agents have a bad sort of reputation, as you want to say, is because they're just moving their players from one club to the other. And 9 times out of 10 is because the club that the client was with previously didn't want him to leave. And the agent somehow forced the move. That's it.
Now, and it's funny you put it like that, because now you're saying that it's true. They don't, half the time they don't want them to leave, and you're the person that's facilitating that. But you're working for the player at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? So in a way, you're always gonna. It's a catch-22. You're always gonna be the bad guy in that sense. But nah, for real. And I respect that. Just touching back on something you said earlier, bro. Because obviously I know you said you do the coaching as well. Sort of thing. I mean, is it? I don't think that's quite a common thing that I've heard. I mean, the whole coaching and agency thing. I mean, like I feel like, do many people do that? I don't think I've heard that, bro. You're the first of many, fam.
What's that?
In terms of like doing the coaching and the agency stuff together, because do people do both?
So obviously, you can't do the coaching. You can't be a coach and be a registered agent. Do you see what I mean? So you can't do that because you'll be tapping up players within your own club.
I see.
See what I mean?
Okay.
So legally, you cannot do that.
Okay. So it was a thing where you started off with the coaching first, then you stopped that,
and then move over.
Then you go into your age,
and then move over to the agency side of things. Yeah.
And what's that? Is that an FA? Is that like an actual FA ruling kind of thing?
I don't know. How it worked out was basically, it goes back to what I was literally just saying. So the reason why you can't be a coach and be an agent is because if you can't be, say for example, I had a team like a Jadon Sancho in my youth team. I'm now also an agent. I know Jadon Sancho is going to be the next big thing. I can't go and represent Jadon Sancho because my employer is obviously, let's say he was at Man City at the time. They're paying me already as a coach. They can't go and pay me now as an agent. You see what I mean?
That conflict of
So that's
interest.
the reason why legally it can't be done.
Okay. That conflict of interest, and I'm sure that must not exactly go on in that respect, but as you said, there must be a lot of dodgy dealings and that going on. Because I remember must be loads, bruv.
You'll be surprised. There's a lot of dodgy dealing that go around, but again, I'll make sure I'm one of the cleanest agents out there.
Bro, perfect. Because even then, I wanted to touch back onto the the pros of agency. Again, if I was just a young lad, 16, 17, and let's say football wasn't going, that great for me, what could you tell me about agency and how good it is? How could you convince me into becoming an agent? Other than the fact that the financial returns when you become a big boss must be nice.
For me, I go by so how we operate is very simple. We're big on we're always saying that we want to build a sort of a very strong relationship with the parents and you as well. And
I love that.
And we normally do stages. So the first stage is kind of talking about the football development. What do we see in you as a player? And we pretty much do our homework a lot. So all our players that are part of our agency, they can honestly say, when I first spoke to Kev and the rest of his team, they literally ironed out how my game is and what I need to improve on. And as well as that, we offer a bit of a unique thing where we get all our players together during pre-season, sometimes during their little periods off, and we get them all together and we train them. Because in our agency, we have UEFA B coaches, UEFA A coaches, and most importantly, we have ex-pros as well with bags of experience. So that's why I feel like with us, we entice players by what we actually offer, which is the training, the mentorship, and building that strong relationship with the parents. That's why I feel like we're very well respected up and down the leagues.
That's actually banging. And could you just say the name of your agency?
It's Valenti.
Cool, that's Valenti. Banging, bro. We'll have the all the Twitter handles or Instagram handles, whatever you have. They will have that flying up on the thing as well. Corbs will sort that out. You get me?
No problem.
But what else do I want to get into quickly in terms of the whole agency stuff? What would you just touching on your plans and aspirations in terms of becoming an agent? What's your plans for the next year or so, or what would be your ideal place to be in? If say 3-4 years time, what's your dream? What's your dream? What do you want to be as an agent? Like the biggest players?
I want to make sure that for me, in the next year or so, I've put down my targets to have 5 professional footballers playing highest Premier League. But it doesn't matter if they're going all the way down to League 2. I have no problems with that. But over the next 3-4 years, 100% I want to have one of the best international players, whether it be an England player. But I feel like I already got one. He's gonna be something special, very, very special. So.
What are we allowed to name?
So don't be surprised if you hear me transferring a player to one of the big clubs in the near future.
Okay, what? Kevin, can I squeeze a name out of you or something, or is it confidential?
I can't do that. He's still a youngster, but he's got a lot of big clubs after him. Funny, actually, tell you there's 2 of them. 2 of them that have been talked about by some big clubs. I'm talking about big Premier League clubs already.
Nah, I'm not even gonna lie, bro. I must admit, it's heartwarming to see, and to see you doing it as well. Because, like I said, we used to play as well, and do you know what I mean? Sometimes I do sit here back. Sometimes I think, what if man made it in football or whatever? Yeah. And do you know what I mean? Man still plays here and there and stuff. But it's nice to see now that there's somebody that's like myself, but you're helping the other young G's to come through. Do you know what I mean? So you're not only helping people make it in football, you're also an example to people to get into agency. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because even for me,
I agree. My thing is, I feel like I'm so proud, in terms of same thing like you said, I see some of our friends, people that we've played with, and people that we were in school with have gone on to do well with themselves in their careers, whatever it may be. But one thing that I realized that we didn't have is people like myself and you who are out there that are really pushing out for the young people, are really there for the young people
100%.
and want to see them succeed. It wasn't really, when we was growing up, do you remember your mentor? I don't remember mine because I never had one.
Yeah.
But You go around West London, you ask most of these kids, they'll tell you who their mentors are. You see what I mean? Or who's their coach that pushed them into whatever club it may be. There's a lot of them around now, and we didn't have that. So I feel like this generation are very fortunate, because there's a lot of passionate people like myself and you that really want to help them and get them to where they need to be, which is having a successful career.
Bro, 120%, 120%. Yeah. A quick round of applause for that one as well, man. I love that. In terms of, I just wanted to get into more of a mental side of things, bro. In terms of being an agent, have you, and maybe with the football players, with the players that you have on your books, has it been difficult? As an agent, you're also there for them in terms of being like a good guide, like I said, or as a good mentor. Do you feel that it's been a lot more difficult over the last year with the whole COVID and stuff in terms of mentoring them and being there?
I think it depends on what you're like as an agent and what you offer to the players as well. So I feel like with us, it's been, like I said, it's been a good period because we've been constantly in touch with our players. Obviously, I have a board as well, just to make sure that I'm putting down dates of what days I've spoken to what player, and just making sure that there is, because sometimes if you call them every 2-3 days, the conversation is going to be dead after a month, or even after a week. Do you see what I mean? So it's giving them, having that chat, and maybe giving them a week or so, see what they've been up to and stuff. But I think what's even made it better for us is because we are doing things like Zoom calls. So we'll get, say for example, I got 2 players that play for Leighton Orient. I'll get both of them in the Zoom call together, along 100%. With my other directors. We'll have that constant sort of chat with them. And then we'll just iron out targets, things that they need to improve on. And then sometimes we might throw in a strength and conditioning session, because we've got that within our team. So he would do something with them just to keep them occupied, as well as whatever they're doing, and just making sure that we're respecting what their clubs are giving out to them at the same time. So it's been good, man. It's been a good period. But yeah, man, for me, it's just, like I said, we've this whole pandemic thing, it's been tough. So we're just making sure that when our players go back to where they're playing, their mental state is up there, they're good to go, and they're ready to embark on the next challenge.
Nah, bro, that's litty still. I love that. And what I like as well is your agency, it just seems adaptable. Do you know what I mean? Like you said, you guys are on the Zoom calls, you're doing things. I think nowadays, as you said, being hot on social media and even doing all the Zoom calls and stuff like that, you have to adapt, obviously, because you haven't been able to maybe see the players as much or do that kind of stuff. So again, bro, it's hats off to you, fam. You're doing,
appreciate it,
big things.
No, thank you. Like I said,
cool.
I've always said to myself that I want to be a great role model for my players, whether it be for coaching, for mentoring, through agency stuff. That's always been my target. And then everything else follows. So when we're going through these times, like I said, I'm always going to make sure I support all my players, and my players can vouch for me that I've always kept in touch with them, made sure that they're okay. And actually, most of them have actually gone back to their clubs thriving, i.e. the one that I've just told you about, where there's 2 that are thriving and going into, one's actually made his first team debut already.
Jeez.
He's a second-year scholar.
Round of applause.
Yeah, one's made his first team debut already. So literally, he made it just before lockdown 2.
Jeez.
So he made his debut already.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Nah, I love that, bro.
Again, we're making sure that these boys are going back in firing. But during that summer period, when we had that little bit of freedom, we had them all in working, grafting. And even there's another one that's, like I said, he's got so many clubs looking at him now, and it all comes back to what we've been doing over the lockdown period. Bro,
and that's the thing as well. Even talking to you now, hard work, dedication. Anyway, you've always been a hard worker, even on the pitch when we were playing, bruv. You weren't one of them lazy front men that didn't put in no work. You know what I'm saying? So
no, it's true.
Yeah, bruv. It's just whatever you're doing, you just you have to lead by example, and you have to work hard. You have to be above. You're always posting up something on your Instagram. You're always working. You're always doing this. Always a new player. You get me? So so I know you're busy.
Yeah, nah. Do you know what it is? I want, like I said, it's like, even when it comes down to like seeing with new players, one thing I always say is I always go for a player that I 100% believe in. Like, I've got to believe in your ability before I even get you to sign a 1 or 2 year, whatever contract it may be. because remember the maximum contract that you can do with a player is 2 years. That's under FA rules.
Okay.
So if I'm getting you to sign with me, I'm 100% trusting your ability. Do you see what I mean? So it's like people be like, oh yeah, but you're signing so many players, but I actually haven't. Sometimes I might just be helping out a friend on a short-term deal just to make sure he gets his move or she gets her move. That's it.
I
But
see.
there's others that I've signed on a 2-year contract because I know during that 2-year period I'm going to develop them and I'm going to make sure that they become a first-team player with whatever clubs that they go to. That's pretty much it.
I love that. And just, we ain't got too long, but a few more things I want to touch on. Even there, you just said she. I love the fact that you got female players on your books as well. And I said female football, bro, popping, banging. Like I said, me and Ace will sit down and watch a female match, 90 minutes, all types of football. So hearing that you're doing that as well. I mean, just a quick one in terms of the female players that you've got on your books. I mean, is it the same in terms of finding them clubs as well when you're finding the males clubs? Do you get any difference in business or anything, or is it exactly the same?
Do you know what? I've only got one, so that's sort of my thing to. It's kind of like for me to test and see where I'm at, and just diving into both sides of the football industry from a male's perspective and a female perspective as well. So, in terms of dealing, it's a little bit the same. Remember, like I feel like because our agency is very male dominated. In terms of all our clients are pretty much male, we're not really known in the female football world. Do you see what I mean? So it's like now we're kind of stepping in, making little baby steps, so our name's known. So, but I'm hoping with this one, once I get her through to whatever big club I'm trying to get her into, that then sends out a signal to the rest of the female football world that look, we are well respected and we can move players into big clubs. And to be fair, she's done really well. She's done really, really well. I think, like before she even signed for me, she wasn't really starting her games, and even during lockdown, I had to really get into her and tell her, look, you're a good player. I reviewed her clips, and now she's gone. I think she's gone 3 months back to back starting. She even started today as well.
How many round of applause does this guy want to get?
Yeah, man. But do you see what I mean? On the mental side of things, I've got to make sure that they're on it. So, like I said, I've always want my players to be first-team players and make sure that they're the best players on the pitch every single time they step off. They step on that step across the white line. But for her, I'm proud of her. And I'm glad that she's gone, 3 months, always starting. And she's been labelled as one of the best players in the league as well. So she's doing well.
I love that. I love that. What was you saying, G?
Yeah, did they plan some of their players for failure? Obviously, everyone's going to make it. Is there a way that...
Cool. Just a quick one, yeah, bro. Like in terms of just a quick one from Ace. Do you which I'm sure you do. Do you plan players for failure? Because we know football in a terms where you don't always get the club you're meant to get, even when you should be signed. You know, politics and stuff like that. So in terms of dealing with that, how do you go about dealing with letting a player know that, you know what, you might not make it here or you haven't made it there? How do you pick them back up from when they don't make it somewhere or the deal doesn't go through?
I think it's just being very, very transparent with your players. So I always keep them up to date. If I'm going through if we're doing a deal, and we said, look, like we can, so for example, how can I put it? Our recent one was, we've had a Premier League giant inquire about one of our players 3 times, but it's just an inquiry. Do you see what I mean? So when it first come about, like I said, I'm always transparent with the player. And I told him and his dad, look, this club has inquired about what has made an inquiry. But I was very, very honest. I said an inquiry could just be an inquiry. Do you see what I mean? And then so I think they inquired again for the 2nd time and then the 3rd time. And then they obviously, in the back of his mind, he's thinking, am I going to get this move? And I think, last week, we spoke to the club, someone in the club directly, and they said, look, it's just a player that we're monitoring. That's about it. So we've told him that, and he's respected us because we've actually kept him in the loop throughout. Do you see what I mean? So making sure that he knows that, look, I said to him from the beginning, look, an inquiry is just an inquiry. And again, he's respected that and he's fine with it and he's carried on and he's thriving at his club. So again, some people are happy if you don't keep. Some people are happy when you're keeping them in the loop. Some are not, and that's how sometimes they can end up being like a certain player I'm not going to mention, but I'm sure you probably know of. That was at West Brom. And then, that's how sometimes their career can just go down because they expected a move and unfortunately it didn't come about. And
my man drove all the way there, I swear. Charlie. Oh, you won't get into that one. But, okay, G, I'm going to quickly wrap this one up. I just want to ask you a couple questions.
Yeah.
Who's winning the league this season? Premiership. Yeah, Premiership.
A lot of people been asking me about this one, and I can't lie. I said, Liverpool win it again. Like I'm an Arsenal fan, but I said Liverpool win it again until they're. I know. I shouldn't have said that, but it's good. I'm cool. I said Liverpool win it again. I said the surprise would be Spurs.
Ooh, as an Arsenal man, you're saying Spurs. Are you mad?
Yeah, I know, but I said the way they were going,
nah, I hear you.
Like not too long ago, they were moving a bit like, So I don't know.
Man saying Tottenham crumble over here every year.
They have crumbled a bit, but
with Mourinho,
I think it's still open. You know the Premier League. The Premier League, you never know.
It's
you
true.
Just never know. But Man United are looking all right now, aren't they?
Hey,
they're looking all right now, aren't they?
Bro, listen,
listen,
top of the league, innit? I don't even need to talk, man. I talk too much, you know. You get me? So what, you saying Liverpool, yeah?
You know what? I'm gonna go Man United. Man United might win.
Hey, I was about to give man a lap round the thing, you know. Okay, another quick one.
Man United might win it,
bro. If we do, innit, turn up things. Who's top scorer? Golden Boot.
Top goal scorer.
And top assist as well. Throw top assist in there as well.
Top assist has to be Thiago, man. That guy's his brain. I don't know.
Over De Bruyne.
Huh?
Over De Bruyne.
Oh.
Checkmates.
De Bruyne's there. It's gonna be out of them two. Thiago, I love that man. I've watched him for years and I've always rated him.
So sharp, fam. So sharp, bro.
Different level. Different level. Like most of the youngsters will be like, De Bruyne, but Thiago, watch. Thiago will be the one.
Okay.
Thiago's football brain is something else.
Nah, bro. I agree with you on that one still. But yeah, top goal scorer. Quick one.
Top goal scorer, you know. Top goal scorer. I don't know, you know. That one's going to be pretty open.
Come on, bro. Give me something.
I feel like... Is he still... What's his form like right now? Jamie Vardy.
Yeah, I see that. Because Aguero's not going to get it this season, I don't think so. I probably would go Vardy or Kane.
Do you know what it is? I like a Jamie Vardy type striker. Not your biggest, quite slim, but he's quick and he has an eye for goal. And yeah, man, I'll definitely back Jamie Vardy all day.
Okay, so we're going Jamie Vardy, top goal scorer. We're going Thiago for top assist and Liverpool to win the league, yeah?
Yep.
All right, bro, I'll hold you to that, G. If no, United to win. What am I talking about? United to win the league, yeah?
United to win the league,
yes. Okay. I don't even know. I was about to say Liverpool's in my head, innit? But I'm not going to come out and say that. A bit too late now.
Liverpool will win it if they never had their injuries.
Bro, true, for real. Van Dijk and that was a madness still. But what was I going to say?
That's their biggest hit. Him going is done.
Yeah, for real. It's going to be interesting, bro. It's put it this way. It's made for good watch. And if you're a neutral, and I think even if you're not a neutral, if you love football like we just love football, bro, you got to enjoy all the big matches that are coming up. And seeing Liverpool now having to show their true championship form, I'm looking forward to it, G. But yes, United for the win. At least you know football when you see it. Good football when you see it. But my G, I'm going to love you and leave you anyway, bro. I'm probably keeping you from your duties. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Guys, Kevin Lema. Valenti's the agency, yeah?
Yep, that's all right.
People check it out. We'll throw the Twitter handles or the Instagram, all the social media handles up on here real soon, bro. Fam, keep doing what you're doing. Stay blessed. I love what you're doing. You're a role model for all of the black people out there, the young black boys out there, and anyone else out there as well, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, man. No. Like I
round
said,
of applause.
man, continue doing what you're doing, man. It's a pleasure.
My G, have a good night. I'll shout you, yeah?
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Thank you.
In a
Take
bit,
care.
brother. Bless. One. Okay, people, thank you for tuning in for another amazing episode of Chat with Champions, the official Champions Challenge Pod Show. Have my guy Kevin Lema on, agent for Valenti. Amazing guy. You lot, make sure that you tap into what he's doing. I have all the Twitter handles and Instagrams pop up. Make sure you follow us as well at Champions Challenge and all of our stuff. I'm not going to spell it. But people, stay safe. Keep your mental in check. Make sure you're checking up on your loved ones, following the guidelines, all that kind of jazz. Don't be getting in no trouble. But yeah, we'll be back again with another episode. Somebody else on the Zoom call, someone very important, someone special, someone with a good story to help you get through your lockdown and get through all your trials and tribulations. Also, peace. God bless. I'm out.
Straight to the top, moving like clock, we be them champions. I got a draw, ball in the box, we be them champions. I'm repping the squad, badge on the top, we be the champions. Getting them gone, I'm back on the up, just like a champion. Straight to the top, moving like clock, we be them champions. I got a draw, ball in the box, we be them champions. I'm repping the squad, badge on the top, we be the champions. Getting them gone, I'm back on the up, just like a champion. See the way that I manage this team. Always getting hella messy out here. See the way that we damage your team. Always getting hella techie out here. See the way we dismantle your team. On the field we just bang on the green. You might image a man on the screen. Like I don't talk, blood you ain't Gary, never low carry a coach. 8 balls, better back it up, bro. That ain't 10 yards, better back it up. 10-10 on the pass that package to bro. On the move like any and Luco. When we shoot, you know we bang for the goal. When you shoot, you know it ran for a throw. Trying to play, I know your fans on the low.